Joining us now, former assistant district attorney in the Manhattan DA's office and chair of the McLaughlin-Stern litigation and white-collar crime group, Daniel Horowitz. Daniel, I'm going to take my own advice. I'm going to be confident. I'm going to ask you a short question. What do you think so far?
I think Todd Blanche was all over the map, and I think that Josh is really doing a tour de force. I think he's bringing it together, as you guys were just talking about, in a necessarily detailed way, but in a narrative. One that at 3:30 in the afternoon, after jurors have been sitting all day and have been talked to and talked to and talked to and yelled at, they are engaged. They are paying attention. And that is the most important thing, I think, for Josh right now. He's got them. He's going through the details, but in a clear, crisp way. He's defanging the 10 arguments that Blanche ended with, the top 10 reasons to, that Donald Trump should be acquitted, which is an effective tool. Frankly, it's one that I used in a summation once when I was a prosecutor and did get a conviction. But here, I think he's methodically going through everything to show ultimately why, not just that the defendant is proved guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, but to show that Michael Cohen has been credible. That just now, as you guys were talking about, the discussion about David Pecker, that's so critical. And that's absolutely right. They began the case with him. He's a credible witness. He likes Donald Trump. He tells a story that weaves in both Trump and Michael Cohen, and that links to the Stormy Daniels story. And I think we haven't gotten there in Josh's summation, but I think when he gets to the Keith Schiller conversation, he's going to, and I know he's been through it once already, he's going to say, we've already heard this, right? We've heard Donald Trump talking about Karen McDougal with David Pecker, asking him how our girl is doing. He's talking about having conversations that got taped by Michael Cohen, and he's going to bring all of that evidence back again to show why Michael Cohen was not lying when he said he had a phone call with Donald Trump on Keith Schiller telephone about Stormy Daniels.
Daniel, I know we are talking about whether the jury is engaged. I have some information on that. Laura Jarrett, about 7 minutes ago, said that the level of engagement is about the same as it's been all day, but she does note some sleepy heads. This particular line of argument, the Karen McDougal stuff, is not striking as particularly compelling in the room. How does Josh Steinglass address that, adjust?
Well, I think, honestly, we're coming up to the afternoon break time, and the fact that you've got jurors who are a little bit less engaged, perhaps, than they were earlier this afternoon, that doesn't surprise me at all. But I think that Josh is a supremely good trial lawyer, and that means he's watching that jury, he's looking at them, he's registering what Laura just saw, and he's going to adjust. He's either going to move to a different point, he's going to bring the point home, or if it's necessary, he's going to say to the judge, this might be a good time for the afternoon break to give the jurors a break.
What he's already said, though, is that call about Karen McDougal is, quote, powerful evidence. It makes it impossible for the defense to claim that Cohen was acting on his own. He says that call, shows that the defendant was involved. This transaction was an unlawful corporate contribution to the Trump campaign. Not only did the defendant know about it, but he participated. It's powerful evidence of the defendant's participation. So he's trying to weave a narration that doesn't just involve Michael Cohen, but that involves Donald Trump. He says this call makes it impossible for the defense to claim that Cohen was acting on his own here. Pecker testified Cohen said he'd get back to him with the defendant's answer, told him to buy it, said, don't worry, the boss will take care of it. Pecker understood this to mean Trump, or Trump organization would reimburse him for any money spent buying that story. So we haven't focused that much on Karen McDougal because she didn't testify. She was clearly not involved. But this is why they felt that they had to bring her into the case, because of this meeting and this call.
That's right. That's exactly right. And I think, Josh is going to have to pivot pretty soon to get to what I think in some ways I agree that Pecker was a very, very compelling witness. But to me, I think he hasn't gotten to the most powerful evidence that corroborates Michael Cohen. And that's the testimony you heard from all the the Trump insiders, from McConaughey, from Hope Hicks, from the secretaries, who all talked about how Trump approached running Trump world and how engaged he was. And that's in some ways why the Karen McDougal story links to that, because it shows how engaged he was. So I think that Josh will move off of this and get to that. My guess would be relatively quickly.
One of the